I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's there.
Survey says the #1 most interesting thing about this photo is
Diddy and his son are Eskimo brothers.
I'm gonna tell you like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir. I'm good. I'll do no damage.
So it looks like the threats that Katt Williams has been getting from the industry have done nothing to stop him or slow him down, because he is still out here spilling tea on celebs and exposing some really creepy stuff, and this time he is now claiming that he has some footage of Steve Harvey allegedly engaging in a freak-off with Diddy. Y'all know how the streets have been saying that Steve Harvey allegedly pimped Lori to Diddy. Right, well, Katt is claiming that this allegedly is a ruse by Steve to get close to Diddy for himself. Yeah, some very interesting reasons. Now, Katt's revelations have set the internet on fire, so yes, of course we're going to break it down.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Yo, it's looking like more and more Katt Williams is determined to single-handedly take down the entire industry because, y'all, the things that we've been hearing from him absolutely mind-blown to say the very least. And he has spilled so much tea about the industry, with starting off with stuff like Oprah being a handler for Hollywood to her blackballing black artists, the Kevin Hart being an industry plant Steve Harvey's Tay need. I go on. Well, it's like every single time we think that he couldn't possibly shock us any more than he already has, he says something that completely blows everything out of the park, and this time it's no different because he is now claiming that he has footage of an alleged freak-off between Diddy and Steve Harvey. Now, Diddy and his freak-offs have been a major trending topic on social media. It's freak-offs here and freak-offs there. It's foes everywhere these past couple of weeks, but thanks to Cassie and her explosive lawsuit where she laid it all out in bare for us to see. In her lawsuit, she claimed that Diddy would allegedly force her into intimate situations with men. The lawsuit said the first time Mr. Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles, the man, Mr. Combs, and Miss Venture wore masquerade masks and ingested drugs. Mr. Combs directed Miss Venture to perform intimate acts with his man while Mr. Combs watched them. He got off to it while he directed Miss Venture and the man to do specific intimate acts. The entire encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangement a freak-off or faux. Now, the interesting thing is that several rappers and artists have been accused of being in freak-off with Diddy, with multiple names being on the list, including L.A., Will Smith, Kevin Hart, Usha, and a whole lot more in her lawsuit. Cassie claimed that Diddy would off of record the freak-offs and keep copies of the videos. He kept such good records of the videos that he would always know whenever Cassie deleted one. She claimed that he had backup copies of everything and would download the videos and force her to watch them just to prove to her who the boss was. Well, in all that we've been talking about regarding Diddy's freak-offs, one name that somehow hasn't been coming up is Steve Harvey, and according to Katt, this is because Steve has been smart enough not to align himself too publicly with Diddy. And this is why he has been able to fly under the radar when it comes to Diddy's freak-offs. Now, a while ago, Katt came out to evil that Steve had allegedly been pimping his daughter Lori out to Diddy. But as it turns out, there was a whole lot more that he didn't say, like the fact that he used to have a little something with Diddy himself, allegedly, all allegedly. So let's break this down though, y'all, so we can see if Katt's being crazy with all these things that he's bringing up. Okay, so remember how Katt claimed that Steve had been allegedly pimping Lori? Right, he pointed out how Lori had always been Steve's favorite. Right, even though she's not his biological child. I'm not saying that Steve was wrong to love Lori like his own child. But the thing is, he treated her like she was his only child. I mean, he even used to take her on dates when she was younger.
On one of our annual father-daughter dates to my favorite Japanese restaurant, and you just started talking to me about guys, and you just told me that you always supported me and you'd always be there for me no matter what, and you loved me unconditionally.
But when it came to his biological kids, the reverse was the case because he didn't seem to like them very much. I mean, he didn't even attend his own daughter's graduation, and an insider wrote, "I went to high school with the twins. They were a few years ahead of me, but people always talked and all eyes were on them because of who their father was. He was a present at their graduation. And it wasn't only the twins that got ignored because he was basically a Debbie to his son BR for the first 16 years of his life. I didn't really have my dad full-time into my life until I was 16, right? And don't even get me started on the poor second-in son whinin', and how Steve literally got investigated by the police and CPS for putting hands on the child to the point where the boy had physical injury on his body. TMZ recorded, according to the kid, Steve hit him with a belt, and then the paddleboard, the kind used for hazing in fraternities. According to the police report, cops took photos of the boy's injuries owing bruises on his buttock and right thigh, as well as cuts on his leg. The police report says the boy told cops the beating was so brutal, he had trouble urinating for days. Well, at first, the only take Katt had was the reason that Steve had spent so much time with Lori is that he was allegedly grooming her so he could pimp her out. This kind of added up with the things that the streets were already saying about Lori. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shame Lore or anything like that, but for a lot of people, the fact that she always seemed to be in a brand new relationship had its own red flags that call for concern. And according to Katt, this is all thanks to Steve and his alleged matchmaking. But get this, Katt also claimed that Steve had allegedly been waiting for an excuse to slide Lori into Diddy's bed. He saw his chance when Kim Porter passed in 2018. Katt claimed that Diddy was grieving and was vulnerable, so Steve allegedly took advantage of this to slide Lori right in it, probably help. And that Lori and Kim were kind of friendly when Kim was still alive, so it wasn't all that out of it for Lori to offer her comfort and condolences. She even paid Kim a tribute on Instagram, writing, "Having a hard time processing this one. You were such a beautiful person inside and out. I'm so glad I told you how much I loved and missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was truly something special, an angel on earth. And now in heaven, rip Mama Kim." Well, she went from calling Kim Mama to dating her daddy in only a couple of months. People were puzzled, wondering how she even thought that it was okay. She has gotten a lot of hate over this in the past, but Sia D is now claiming that she was a victim and had no saying whether or not if she dated Diddy. But in the middle of this mess, there's one thing that caught the attention of the eagle-eyed fans, and that's the color of Lore's nail polish when she dated Diddy. Her nails were always painted white, which got people talking because y'all know what Cassie had to say about the white nails and the freakoffs, which is why people suspect the L was yet another victim of Diddy's foos. Now, every time Lori stepped out with Diddy, sharp-eyed fans couldn't help but notice that her nails were painted with white nail polish now. Why is this such a big deal? Well, in Cassie's lawsuit, she dropped a bomb that Diddy had a particular liking for the white nail polish. It wasn't just some quirky fashion preference. No, according to Cassie, he made her wear white nails because he loved the stark contrast against the dark skin of the male escorts he forced her to cozy up with. And it wasn't just Cassie who fell to the white nail saga. Rumors started swirling that he pulled the same thing with young Miami because she sported white nails every time she was spotted with Diddy. The speculations went wild, hinting that she might have been entangled in Diddy's peculiar rendezvous. Which brings us to Steve. Now, no, Steve wasn't wearing white nail polish, but Lori did date Diddy after the situation with Cassie, and he already had a reputation for being violent with women. So you would think that Steve would try to protect his precious baby girl from Diddy, right? I mean, he always gave her preferential treatment, so surely he would try to put an end to the BS she had going on with Diddy. Well, not only did Steve not put an end to it, but he encouraged it, even going as far as to go on vacation with and Lori. People felt the type of way about this because why on earth would Steve be okay with Lori dating a man who is as old as he is? Well, Katt is now claiming that not only was Steve okay with Lori dating Diddy, but he allegedly fell into Diddy's bed himself. All allegedly. Now Katt is claiming that Steve was allegedly in Diddy's bed during the vacation, and that's the real reason that he was on that vacation. Allegedly, Katt's claiming that Steve allegedly pimped out Lori to Diddy, who was just deployed to getting himself closer to Diddy. And I think y'all can see where this thing going fos. Oh, and y'all know how Cassie claimed that Diddy used to record these freakoffs, but word on the streets is that Katt allegedly stumbled on a video of Diddy and Steve. Let's just say that there's a lot going on in the video.